The smartest entrepreneurs I know aren't spending more time at their desks, they're spending less. While everyone else is grinding 12-hour days, peak performers have discovered that 30 minutes of movement unlock more breakthrough than 3 hours of forced focus. What if your biggest business problem isn't lack of time, but lack of blood flow to your brain? Right now, you're probably pushing through mental fog, forcing decisions when your brain feels sluggish, wondering why brilliant ideas seem so rare. Well, here's what changes everything. Just 20 minutes of exercise increases your cognitive function by 23% for the next 2 hours. Your competition isn't outsmarting you, they're literally out-oxygenating you. Every day you skip movement costs your business thousands of dollars in reduced decision-making, quality, and missed opportunities. Every entrepreneur who exercises makes better strategic decisions and generates more innovative solutions. 6 months from now, you'll either be running a sharper business with a sharper mind or still wondering why your best ideas come in the shower. Your brain's peak performance window is closing every minute you stay seated. Sitting is one of the great challenges and could be the next bad thing. I know one guy who specializes only in how desperately bad sitting is, and he compares it to smoking. Now, there's a lot of data out there, but I'm not worried about the health implications long-term. I'm interested in the health implications short-term. Every time I've got a major issue that I need to deal with, and I'm confused or I don't have an answer, I go out. I literally go outside, and it doesn't matter what the weather is, I go outside and take a walk. There's a wonderful little path right down the street from where I live. And it's a bike path, and it wanders by a river. Now, not everyone's as lucky to have that, but a walk out helps so many ways. First of all, blood flow. Second of all, I'm a firm believer in recognizing what our genes have given us over millions of years that have changed over the last 120 to 200 years. One of the things we've done for years is being able to look out over a great depth, look out and far, and move your head back and forth. Remember when we were on the savannah or in the mountains trying to survive as new humans, as hunter-gatherers, we would scan the area. We'd be always looking far out to make us feel safer. So when we are starting to feel stressed, that indicates that we're doing better to be able to look out farther. And if you think about it, if you get into a stressful situation when pre-300 or 400 years ago, when you got into a stressful situation, you either flee away or flight. Either one of which increases your heart rate, increases and moves blood. So whenever I feel like that fight or flee situation, I start to move because it signals your body that something's going on, I'm dealing with the problem, and it's solved. If you lived, it was solved. So as we sit here with the stressors building up that our body doesn't know how to deal with, we go out and move. So no matter whether you're wanting to get blood flow to your brain because you want better ideas, or you want blood flow to your brain because, well, hey, it's a good thing, or you want it because you're dealing with stress, movement is that important. The reason I'm actually telling you this is I realized that I'd stopped moving. Work had gotten exciting and there's lots going on, and we're blessed to have some amazing clients doing some incredible things. But all of a sudden I realized I'd stopped moving. And all of a sudden I started to get a pain in my shoulder. And it wasn't something I'd done, it is because I had stopped moving. And the minute I realized that and started moving again, it took some time to get back. But I was able to get that movement back and remembered how much better I feel when I move. So a couple of things I've done to do that. I don't sit very often. I actually have a walking treadmill. My office, I'm blessed to have a standing desk that I can actually walk. And I used to do it with just dealing with email and doing with internal stuff, but I've actually started making a habit of doing it with other meetings as well. Most people don't care if you're moving a little bit, and it's really good for the entire body to really have that kind of movement going on. So what I'd encourage you to think about is, are you moving enough? And I know the answer is always no, but can you move better? I had the honor of working for the New York Department of Health for many, many years, teaching project management. And it's fascinating how they thought differently. When they would get into a building, they'd get their 10,000 steps in. They'd walk every one of the steps. They'd walk the steps up and down. If you can not take the elevator and walk, yes, it's painful the first time and the second time. But after a while, it becomes habit. An increase in your blood flow on a regular basis, getting out and doing 30 minutes. My son actually goes swimming and I have an hour, and usually what I do is try and crank through as much work. But I actually saw 2 people running, and they would go and they'd drop their kids off and then they go take a run. I thought that was a great idea, or even a walk. It doesn't have to be a lot of exercise, the more the better, but if you can start hitting those goals on a regular basis, you'd be astounded how easy it is to solve the problems, come up with new ideas, and just feel better. It is difficult, and it's so simple to be able to just sit on the couch and then sit here and sit there. And I find myself sitting over a period of time. I actually have a tracker that now looks at how many steps I take in a day. And I can really tell the days that I've been pushing hard. I've got a tremendous amount of stress, but I've only walked a couple of thousand steps. I can tell the days that I do better when I'm able to slot in that 30 minutes. When I was training to go climb and I was working for a corporation, I used to use my lunch break as the time I got out and got exercise. And I used to have 15 minutes to have a salad in front of what I did for work. I don't encourage that always, but if you've got to get that time in and life is getting a little hectic, now is the time to start scheduling that in. I tell you what, the pain I felt from the arm pinch because I wasn't moving was more motivation than anything else to keep moving so I feel better. I'm going to encourage you now to think about ways of doing it. A small tracker, a pedometer, or a smart watch. Most of them will give us our tracking. Start paying attention to that. Gamify that for yourself. Say that if you're doing X, Y, and Z, if you get 10,000 steps a day on average for 30 days, what's the advantage? What's the treat? Your body will thank you, your mind will thank you, and your business will thank you. So to comment on some of the things that you've done to really hack, I don't like to use that word, how to comment on below on the ways that you try and get movement into your life. And maybe it is just taking the stairs, but all of those things, thinking about it differently, even that point of thinking about it differently will make a big difference. Let's continue this conversation. I look forward to talking to you later.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gained.